The objective of this session is to introduce two of the world's most complex or rather complicated terminologies to one and all. This session is aimed at, though it's aimed at non-IT professionals primarily, doctors, engineers from other streams, etc. This session could also be useful to those IT professionals who are still not too sure what these two extremely complicated terms actually mean. We would start with the most popular term these days, that is cloud computing. So the term cloud computing obviously evolved from cloud. Imagine a few computers, some of them may even be supercomputers, available on the internet on a platform which is called cloud, in which you can store or process your data on a time basis or data volume basis. What you do is, if you have huge volumes of data, instead of buying too many computers and setting up a very large processing facility, what you can do is, you hire a large set of computers on the cloud, on the internet, even supercomputers on the internet. You send your data, get it processed, and they may charge you on time basis or on data volume basis. It's like if you want a Rolls-Royce car for a ceremonial occasion, the better option is not to buy it for just that one occasion. The best option is to hire a Rolls-Royce car. Similarly, if you have occasional bursts of data, large volumes of data occasionally, for example, universities have a large volume of data during admissions. Corporates may have large volume of data during the annual audit and annual compilation of figures. Sometimes scientific organizations may have extremely complex data once in a while to be processed. For these purposes, if you install a large number of systems, sometimes supercomputing systems, it would be infeasible. You just cannot afford it. So what you do is, send this data across to a cloud computing facility. We'll process it for you, send it back to you. If you have large volumes of data to be stored, the same method can be used. You send it across to a cloud computing system who will store it for you. You can access it as and when you need it. Seems good, isn't it? So this is simply what cloud computing means. It's not a big deal. Coming to the next complicated term, ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. You would have probably, most people know SAP rather than ERP. SAP, or Systems, Applications and Products, is just a German software which is one of the multitude of ERP softwares available. So what ERP does is again rather simple. See, imagine a large organization. They would have to use normally a large number of software packages. They may use an accounting package. The HR department needs another package. The production department needs another one. The quality control needs another package. The export division might need another package. So we are now talking of a large number of packages. The problem with this approach is that, see, for example, if someone resigns, you need to make changes in the accounting package because his salary is to be adjusted. You need to make changes in the HR software because this person's data needs to be archived. You need to make changes in the departmental software where he was working. If he was in production, you'll have to make changes in the software used in production management. So you're talking about repetitively doing alterations in various software because of a change, because of a singular change. Another problem with this approach is this person's data needs to be available in the HR department, in the production department where he works, in the accounting department because he has to be paid salary. So we are also talking about duplication or redundancy of data. Now, the thought process called ERP aims at integrating all this into a common data warehouse or a centralized data store, from where all these departments can draw data when required and process it. Once the processed data is stored in the warehouse, the other departments need not reprocess it again. So we are saving on repetitive processing. We are also saving on redundancy or duplication of data storage. This is the very purpose of ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. In future, ERP would be adopted by governments. At that point, it will become Governmental Resource Planning, GRP, where all departments of the government would be integrated through a common data warehouse. Means the data stored in the police department may need to be accessed by traffic, CBI, NIA, RAW, whatever. So if they have a GRP, there will be a common data warehouse from which all these different police departments and divisions of police can draw information, rather than each one of them maintaining a data store, leading to redundancy and duplication of data, leading to repetitive processing by each department. See, for example, right now, the news in the limelight is the gold smuggling. This data is right now stored in the computers of the local police, NIA, or the Home Affairs Ministry. Means it is stored thrice. It will also be processed thrice by each of these departments. But if only they have a GRP, Governmental Resource Planning, centralized data warehouse and processing system, the data on gold smuggling would be available to all these departments from a single data warehouse without any redundancy or duplication. There is no need of repetitive processing of data also. And that exactly would be our GRP, Governmental Resource Planning, a thing of the future. The idea of this session is precisely to simplify these two most complicated terms for any professional and for those IT professionals who are not too sure or clear of it even today. Thank you very much.